Well, I'm back, America, and I'm very excited to make this acquaintance with you. I'm very uplifted today of that wonderful debate. Now, I was speaking on the earthquake in Maine, the 4.0 that rattled the New England states, and the 9.0 that rattled the debates last night, presidential debates. President Obama came back like a thoroughbred that he is. And I knew that he would come back like that. And I was telling my friends, I said, I believe the first debate was more calculated on President Barack Obama's part to see what his opponent had. And his opponent expressed everything, used all his weapons. President Obama saved a lot of his weapons to this second debate, where the election is won. Now, President Obama, I believe, is destined to solve the economic woes and financial crisis of America. It was spoken many years ago. Now, in order to find out how and why, you'd have to read my book, Diversity versus Racism, A Challenge to Mankind. If you can see that cover, it's the most prolific cover. You can put it up on website www.enlightenthepeople.com, www.enlightenthepeople.com. Now, this is a sinister cover that speaks of good and evil. We're living in that time right now, and I would suggest that the book can be purchased at Barnes & Noble's, Books A Million, and a lot of many other independent bookstores. And I think it's one of the best books written on diversity versus racism, a challenge to mankind. Because racism, sexism, homophobism is a challenge to mankind if we don't really truly understand what the differences in us that make us diverse. That's why our nation is so great, because we embrace diversity from the beginning, and we must continue to do so. And women's rights, we must support and uphold women's rights, the right to chart their own course, to choose their own birth, their conceptions, whatever it is they must do for themselves. We must allow them to be independent and not lord over them. Like President Obama was saying, let's give them a chance to be who they are supposed to be. Let's let them be the leaders that they are. Well, without our mothers, we wouldn't be who we are, or our fathers. Mothers, the heart of the household. The father's the head of the household. But the head and the heart couldn't function without each other. Once we have that balance in our lives, we can truly be who we're supposed to be. Now, another book I have here, Success, the Inner Treasures of Life. If you can see it real good. That's me coming out of the darkness into the marvelous light. And perhaps you too, if you ever been there before. And it deals with the inner treasures of life that's developed within us as we travel the maze of life. And life is like a maze. You don't always go the right way all the time. Sometimes you have to go through a maze, go into the maze, come back out, make another turn, left turn, right turn. Sometimes you have to go backwards in order to go forwards. As the old Chinese proverb said, if you can't go up, go sideways. You might find where up is, if you go long enough. In other words, never go backwards, if you can help it. And once a great friend of mine told me, he said, Brother Henry, he said, look, a man that's straight can see the crookedness in his life, the crooked turns, the ways. But a man that's crooked can't see straight. I want you to think about that. Now, we're at this period in our life. Please get out to vote in this great election. It will determine the course of America for the next 35 or 40 years. Whether you want to ultra right wing, conservative, Tea Party, evangelical, rule Congress, House of Representatives, Senate, Supreme Court. The next president will nominate the next Supreme Court justice, at least 2 or 3, that can affect the direction of this country for the next 35, 40, 50 years. Now, on the other hand, if we nominate President Barack Obama. The court would be more leaning toward more a liberal, I believe, and be more fair to all people. And we can get more things passed, more laws passed. We can get a lot of great things done. But let's be open-minded about this. We don't want a Supreme Court that's so stringent and so tight until we can't function. We want it to be flexible enough and firm enough that we can function as a people, as an American people. Not as slaves in a slave system, but as true people, all of us. Now, if you observe President Barack Obama and really just look at his demeanor, seems like he's a cross between Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Seems like he thinks with the calculating abilities of Malcolm X and speak with the oratory and eloquence of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That's kind of strange, isn't it? A lot of times we can't see any further than our nose, the nose on our face. But think about that. That man is virtually a true genius, with leadership abilities that extend well beyond his years in wisdom. God has truly blessed him to be one of the greatest leaders ever to live. And if we ourselves would pull together as Americans and stop player hating, as the Republican Congress, House of Representatives have been doing, and that's why we're in the mess that we're in today, because they refuse to help this man to pass the laws that need to be passed, to help the job situation, the economy. Everything that he's tried to work on or tried to pass, they fought it tooth and nail. Now, those very people that were fighting against him all across the year, you don't hear anything from them right now, not one iota. Where are they? Where are they hiding? What's the problem with them? You don't hear one thing from them. But they're the ones that caused this great mess that the president inherited before. So don't lay this at the president's feet. Because he's an African American, first African American president, what would you do if you was President Barack Obama? If you was African American, male, female, or whatever, what would you do? How would you handle the situation? Right now, Frank, I don't know how I would handle it. I really don't. I ask myself this question: put yourself in that man's shoes, and what would you do? Senator McConnell, Boehner, some of the rest of you, what would you do if you was in his shoes? And I believe that we must come off these visionary tactics in America, which causes us to lose track of who we really are and the great nation that we are. Liberals, conservatives, Republicans, Democrats, evangelicals, Christians, Mormons, Muslims, etc., Protestants, you name it. We have split personalities when it comes to religion and when it comes to our beliefs. America is a sick country psychologically that needs counseling, needs to discover our inner treasures of life, to read Diversity versus Racism, A Challenge to Mankind. We truly need help, all of us. We was brought up in a society that molded us from the beginning. And I wanted to speak to you today after this wonderful, exciting, most powerful debate I've seen in my life. I've never seen such eloquence and such dynamism. It's definitely amazing, beyond reproach. Now, let's make sure we catch this next debate Monday night. It's going to be equally as exciting, I feel. But let's get out to the polls November the 6th and vote our conscience. Vote our mind. Vote for what is right against what is wrong. Don't vote black or white. It's not about that anymore. Shouldn't have been about that in the first place. Vote your conscience. You know what is right and what is wrong. You know who's right and who's wrong. Don't let this glamour, $1,000 suit, looking good. Don't let that fool you. The proof is in the pudding. So, America, I know that you will do the right thing when it comes to the polls. Let's be the diverse nation that we are. And be into this wonderful society. Now, this is another book of mine. The Adventures of Astro Kid and Space Dog Leroy. One of the best science fiction adventure books there is on the market today. Right now it's in Hollywood, being considered for possible television series, a possible movie production. Afro-American superheroes that will bring light on young African-American males and females, that they too have a right to fight evil and corruption, to create their own superheroes, sports villains. But it brings into play all races, all nations fighting together to fight evil and corruption, like we're doing today in this wonderful election. We have our superheroes and we have our villains also. Let's be on the side of the new superheroes that fight evil, corruption, that bring good not only to America but to the world. And that's what President Barack Obama, Miss Michelle Obama intends. That's what they're doing, and I'm very proud of them and their family. Now, also another book of mine, Reflections of Life for the Heart and Soul. And this is for people that's been touched by the mysteries of life, the travels of the heart, the drama of the soul. It touches upon all of our experiences. So these books can all be found in Barnes & Noble's Books A Million and independent stores. And also begin off my website that's coming soon, www.jhenryenterprises.com. That's www.jhenryenterprises.com. You can call me at 601-470-3525. My email is astrostarenterprises@yahoo.com. That's astrostarenterprises@yahoo.com. Well, yes, this book, Reflections of Life, can also be gotten from the website www.reflectionsoflifebyjhenry.com. Now, all these books are made to inspire you, to motivate you, to uplift you spiritually, and to bring into the realm of life, of abundant life. As Hebrew 11th chapter, first verse said, now, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So, let's believe in this true and living God, that He's going to bring all these great things that we hope for into existence. Eradicate racism, eradicate sexism, homophobism, all the other isms that we are sick of. And let's be the true people that we are in America today. Let America be the great nation of the world that all people look up to, that God has blessed us with leadership, understanding, wisdom, knowledge, peace, and love. This is all right. I've spoken to you, America, on YouTube. Seem as though to me it's like our tube, your tube and my tube. And I'm thankful for hopefully you listening to me, and that we will come to you again. Outhouse series number 2, from the Outhouse to the White House. And we hit upon some more wonderful points in this relationship that we're developing. God bless you. Thank you. And looking forward to speaking with you again. Adios. Have a wonderful day.